Everyone wants to know the same fundamental question. When will the digital economy actually go mainstream? Not just for the crypto traders and not just for the tech enthusiasts who have been here since the beginning. I'm talking about when it becomes the standard for governments, for central banks, and for billions of everyday people. Right now, blockchain, AI, tokenized assets, and digital identity systems are in their infancy. They are still early, very early. We are witnessing the birth of a new era, but transitions of this magnitude always feel gradual at first. History shows us that technological revolutions move slowly, almost invisibly, until suddenly they move all at once. Today, we are going to break down the mechanics of this shift. We will analyze how the digital economy actually spreads across the world, from the very first experiments in code to full-scale global adoption. We'll look at the adoption curve, the invisible infrastructure phase, and the institutional surge that is beginning right now. Every major technological shift follows a mathematical pattern called the technology adoption curve, or the diffusion of innovation. It starts with the innovators, the builders, the engineers, and the early believers who experiment in labs and basements long before the general public even understands what is being built. Following the innovators come the early adopters. These are the visionaries. They are the investors and the forward-thinking companies who recognize the potential value of a technology before it's been proven at scale. They take the risks that pave the way for everyone else to follow in the years to come. Then comes the most critical phase, the early majority. This is the moment when the public begins to recognize the practical value of the tech. Eventually, we reach the late majority where the technology becomes so normal it's almost invisible. This is the path the internet took, and it's the path the digital economy is taking now. To understand where we're going, we must look at where we've been. The internet followed this curve perfectly. In the mid-90s, it was a niche tool. By the late 90s, companies were scrambling to get online. Today, it is the bedrock of global commerce, communication, and culture. It is the oxygen of our modern economy. Smartphones followed the same path. They were expensive, clunky toys at first, tools for the elite business class. Then, almost overnight, they became a universal necessity. Billions of people now carry more computing power in their pockets than what was used to send humans to the moon. This is the power of the curve. So, where do we stand today in this cycle? Most analysts would agree that the digital asset and blockchain ecosystem is currently situated somewhere between the innovators and the early adopters. The core technology exists, the infrastructure is maturing, but the mass migration of global systems has only just begun. What we are currently witnessing is the infrastructure phase. This is arguably the most important part of the entire cycle, yet it is also the quietest. Infrastructure build-outs happen in the background. They happen in server rooms and through undersea cables, far away from the headlines and the hype of the markets. Think back to the 1990s. Most people didn't see the massive physical cables being laid across the floors of the Atlantic and Pacific. They didn't see the early data centers being constructed, but that unseen infrastructure is what eventually allowed the internet to scale to billions of users. We are in that unseen phase right now for digital finance. Today, developers are building new settlement networks. These aren't just faster versions of old systems. They are fundamentally different. They allow for instant peer-to-peer value transfer without the need for traditional slow-moving intermediaries. This is the new rail system for the world's wealth. Parallel to this, we have the rise of smart contract platforms. These tools are automating trust. They allow for complex financial agreements to be programmed and executed automatically based on real-world data. It's not just money that's becoming digital, it's the very logic of our financial agreements. Then there is tokenization. This is perhaps the biggest shift of all. It's the process of bringing real-world assets, everything from real estate and art to stocks and bonds, onto the blockchain. This allows for 24/7 trading and fractional ownership, unlocking trillions of dollars in previously illiquid value. Digital identity systems and financial automation tools are also being integrated as we speak, because most of this work is happening under the hood of the global economy. It doesn't feel like a revolution to the average person yet, but make no mistake, This infrastructure is what will make mass adoption inevitable. Once the infrastructure reaches a critical level of maturity, the institutions begin to participate in earnest. Now, large institutions, banks, governments, central banks, move slowly. They have to. They are managing the existing world's wealth and must navigate complex regulatory landscapes. But when these institutions move, they move with incredible scale. When a major asset manager or a global payment network decides to integrate digital infrastructure, they aren't just testing a new app, they are moving trillions of dollars onto new rails. This is where early adoption starts to feel like a global shift. We are seeing those signals right now. Pilot programs are turning into permanent integrations. Central bank digital currency projects are moving from research to development. When the institutional giants decide the tech is ready, the transition from experimentation to systemic change happens rapidly. However, technology doesn't truly go mainstream until the user experience improves. This is the final barrier. In the early days, technology is always hard, it's clunky, and it requires specialized knowledge. Think about how difficult it was to set up a home network in 1995. Early internet users had to understand IP addresses and dial-up protocols. Early smartphone users had to deal with slow-edge networks and limited apps. Early blockchain users had to manage 24-word seed phrases and technical wallets. This friction is what keeps the early majority at bay. But as user experience improves, adoption accelerates exponentially. People don't adopt technology because they understand the underlying cryptography or the networking protocols. They adopt it because it's easier, it's faster, and it solves a problem in their life better than the old way did. When sending digital value across the world becomes as simple as intuitive as sending a text message, that is when the explosion happens. We are rapidly approaching the day when the technology becomes invisible, where it's just a part of the everyday fabric of our lives. At this stage, something powerful begins to happen: network effects. A network effect is a phenomenon where a service becomes more valuable as more people use it. Think about a telephone. If only one person has one, it's useless. If two people have one, it's a tool. If everyone has one, it's a revolution. The same principle applies to our new digital financial infrastructure. The more businesses, the more banks, and the more individuals that join the digital settlement systems, the more efficient and attractive those systems become for everyone else. It's a self-reinforcing loop of value and utility. Network effects create momentum, and that momentum is what truly accelerates adoption. It becomes a feedback loop where efficiency attracts more users, and those users increase the efficiency. Once this loop starts spinning at full speed, it becomes almost impossible to stop. Another force that is often overlooked is global competition. Countries don't just exist in a vacuum, they compete economically and technologically. If one major nation gains a massive efficiency advantage through digital infrastructure, other countries simply cannot ignore it. They must adapt or die. No government wants to be stuck with an outdated, slow, and expensive financial system while their neighbors are transacting at the speed of light for pennies. This competitive pressure acts as a massive catalyst, forcing nations to modernize their systems and adopt new digital standards. This is why we see governments all over the world studying digital currencies, tokenized asset markets, and blockchain-based settlement systems. It's not just about being innovative, it's about protecting their economic sovereignty in a digital-first world. Competition is a great accelerator of technological revolutions. Every technology eventually reaches what analysts call an inflection point. This is the precise moment when adoption shifts from slow, linear, and often frustrating growth to rapid, vertical, and exponential expansion. This is where the suddenly part of the revolution happens. The internet reached its inflection point in the early 2000s. Suddenly, it wasn't just for checking email once a day. It was integrated into every business process and every social interaction. If you weren't online, you were falling behind. The shift was absolute and it was fast. Smartphones reached their inflection point around 2010. Within a few short years, the entire world's behavior changed. Artificial intelligence is reaching that same critical inflection point right now. And digital financial infrastructure is approaching a similar moment in the coming decade. Once the benefits of digital finance become undeniable, when the efficiency is too high to ignore, and the experience is seamless, adoption will move at a pace that will surprise everyone. We are currently in the calm before that storm of adoption. Prepare yourself. The next decade could see the most enormous changes in how the world handles value in human history. We are moving toward a world where almost every asset, from property deeds to carbon credits, will be tokenized and stored on a distributed ledger. Everything will be programmable. More automation in our financial systems will lead to fewer errors and incredibly high speeds. We will see AI managing complex economic activity in real time, optimizing flows and settlement in ways that are simply impossible for human-led systems. It is the dawn of the intelligent economy. Global settlement will occur instantly through digital infrastructure, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The transition won't happen overnight, but the end result will be a world that functions fundamentally differently than the one we were born into. It is a total transformation of value and economic interaction. As we look at these massive changes, we have to realize that progress is often a series of invisible steps. Each small developer building a smart contract, each bank testing a new settlement rail, and each person learning about this new economy is part of the larger movement. It's a collective effort that is reshaping the world one bit at a time. The dawn of the digital economy is not just about technology, it's about freedom and efficiency. It's about a world where value can flow as easily as information, where barriers are removed, and where new opportunities are created for everyone, regardless of where they are. This is the ultimate promise of the digital shift we're witnessing. Understanding the technology adoption curve gives you the power to see through the noise. It helps you distinguish between short-term hype and long-term systemic transformation. As we move into the next decade, being prepared and having a strategic framework will be your greatest asset in navigating this new economic reality. XRP is built specifically for this future. Its ability to provide instant, high-volume liquidity makes it the perfect bridge for a global economy that never sleeps. It's not just a digital asset, it's a foundational piece of the new financial architecture that is being built to support the next generation of global commerce. And when you pair that liquidity with the power of artificial intelligence, you create an economic system that is not only fast, but incredibly smart. AI will be the brain that optimizes every transaction, predicts every need, and manages the complexity of a global market at a scale that was previously unthinkable. My final advice is simple. Stay informed and stay prepared. The digital economy is moving from experiments to global pillars, and those who recognize this early will be the ones who thrive. Join us as we continue to track this shift and explore the technologies that are redefining our world. The future is digital, and it's happening now. If you found this masterclass valuable, please subscribe to the channel for more deep breakdowns on XRP, AI, and the future of our economy. We have a lot more content coming to help you navigate this transition. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest releases. For those ready to dive even deeper, my book Mastering XRP, AI, and the Digital Economy Before 2030 provides the full strategic framework you need. It's your complete guide to understanding and thriving in the next economic decade. We cover everything from the technical basics to advanced economic strategies. This beginner to expert guide is designed to be your roadmap through the most significant economic transition in history. It's about being prepared before the inflection point hits and securing your place in the new digital economy. Get your copy and start mastering the future today. The link to the book is in the description below. Don't wait for the inflection point to become obvious to everyone. Prepare yourself now. Thank you for joining me for this breakdown, and I will see you in the next one. I'm James Newland. Master the digital economy and stay ahead of the curve. Goodbye for now. Mastering the future starts today. Stay tuned for our next deep dive into the evolving world of digital finance. I'm James Newland, and the future is yours to build.